Your cat isn't just staring at you. They're studying you. Most people laugh when they notice it. They assume the cat is being curious, or lazy, or simply bored. But when your cat sits across the room without moving, eyes fixed on you, body completely still, something deeper is happening in that quiet moment. And what that stillness really means often goes unnoticed. Because to your cat, watching is not passive. It's a form of communication. And by the end of this, you may see those silent stares in a completely different way. At first, the behavior seems harmless. You walk into the room, you sit down, and there they are. Not approaching, not hiding, just sitting at a distance, watching you with calm, unblinking eyes. No sound, no movement, just presence. And this is where the first hidden meaning begins. Sometimes your cat watches you from far away because they are gathering information. Cats live in a world built on observation. They study patterns, they memorize routines, they track changes in behavior long before humans notice them. So when your cat sits quietly and watches you, they may be asking a simple question. Is everything normal? Maybe you came home later than usual. Maybe your voice sounds different. Maybe your movements feel unfamiliar. To you it's a small change. To your cat, it's a signal. And watching from a distance gives them space to understand what's happening. But that's not the most important part, because sometimes that quiet stare isn't about curiosity at all. It's about emotional safety. Cats approach when they feel secure. They pause when they feel unsure. Not afraid, not threatened, just uncertain. If your cat sits across the room and watches without moving, they may be measuring the emotional atmosphere around you. Are you tense? Are you distracted? Your cat reads these signals through your posture, your breathing, even the rhythm of your footsteps. And here's where it gets deeper. Sometimes your cat watches you from far away because they are waiting for permission. Not spoken permission, emotional permission. They want to approach. They want to be near you, but something is holding them back. It could be a recent moment that made them hesitate, a loud reaction, a sudden movement, an unfamiliar guest in the home. Even one uncomfortable experience can create a temporary pause in their trust. So instead of walking toward you, they stay still, observing, evaluating, waiting. And most people miss this next one. Sometimes, that silent watching is actually a sign of deep attachment. This surprises many owners. We often think closeness means physical contact, sitting on your lap, rubbing against your legs, sleeping beside you. But attachment can also look like distance. Your cat may sit across the room and watch you, simply because they want to keep you in sight. You are their point of reference, their center of stability. They don't need to touch you, they just need to know where you are. And in their mind, watching you is a way of staying connected. But here's where the meaning becomes more personal. Pay attention to the expression in their eyes. Are their ears relaxed? Is their body calm? Is their tail resting naturally on the floor? If so, their watching is peaceful. It means they trust you enough to be still. Stillness for a cat is a vulnerable state. It means they don't feel the need to defend themselves. They feel safe. But if their body is tense, if their ears are slightly turned back, if their eyes are wide and alert, that kind of watching carries a different message. It means something in the environment feels unpredictable. Not dangerous, just uncertain. And uncertainty makes cats cautious. And here's where it gets even deeper. Sometimes, your cat watches you from far away because they sense something changing inside you. Humans often hide emotions well from each other, but not from cats. They notice when your energy shifts, when your patience runs thin, when your mood feels heavier than usual. You may think you're acting normal. You may believe nothing has changed, but your cat feels the difference in silence. They respond by creating space, not to leave you, but to understand you. Watching becomes their way of staying close without stepping into emotional tension. And this leads to a hidden truth that many people never consider. Your cat is not only observing your actions, they are observing your consistency. Cats trust patterns. They trust the sound of your footsteps at the same time each day. They trust the way you open doors. They trust the rhythm of your voice. When those patterns shift, even slightly, your cat notices immediately. So they sit back, they watch, they wait for the familiar rhythm to return. But this next part matters the most. If your cat watches you from far away and slowly blinks, that is not distance, that is trust. Slow blinking is one of the clearest signals of emotional comfort in the feline world. It means your cat feels safe enough to relax their guard, even while watching you. It's their quiet way of saying, "I'm at peace with you." And yet there is one situation where that silent watching carries a warning. If your cat begins watching you more than usual, if the distance grows wider, if they stop approaching entirely, that pattern deserves attention. Emotional withdrawal can signal stress, discomfort, or even physical unease. Cats rarely complain loudly. They communicate through small changes, changes that are easy to ignore. A longer stare, a greater distance, a quieter presence. And this brings us to the most important realization. Your cat's stillness is never empty. It is filled with meaning. Every silent moment across the room is a conversation, just without words. They are checking your mood, reading your energy, measuring your safety. Not because they doubt you, but because their bond with you matters. And in the end, the distance between you and your cat is not always separation. Sometimes it's observation. Sometimes it's patience. Sometimes it's love expressed quietly. So the next time you notice your cat sitting across the room, watching you without moving, don't rush to call them closer. Just pause. Let the silence exist. Meet their gaze gently. Stay calm. Stay predictable. Because to your cat, that quiet moment was never just a stare.